Okay, so if no one has anything they want to start with, let's just start with being ourselves reality. Yeah, so being obviously is a present tense condition, yes? Being ourselves reality. Yeah, first part. Second one is on having never left. And the third one is I need do nothing. So first one is the premise is we are reality right now, not as a thing that we're appearing seemingly as, but as the space of that thing. And all the things that appear, they appear in a space, and we are that awareness, or that is reality, so to speak. So being ourselves reality as we're appearing to be something else. Yeah. So the appearance to be something else is not the reality. It's appearing in the reality, but it's not of the reality. It's of appearance, which means it comes and goes, changes, fluctuates, goes this way, go that. Not, but as reality, that doesn't fluctuate or change or come or go, wasn't born, doesn't die. Okay, so being ourselves reality, on having never left. So the feeling that we've gone somewhere or we're going somewhere is a huge drive in almost everyone. Everyone is moved in this, like has that sail of time, and the wind of interest and attention just keeps blowing us to go and get somewhere, or believing that we've left somewhere. Yeah. And this statement on having never left just soothes that whole ulcerated, chaotic agitation. Yes, on having never left. So the first premise is being ourselves reality. The second premise is on having never left. So all your ideas that you've gone something, or you separated from the Godhead, or you've been a bad girl or a bad boy, and that's put distance and time between you and being our whatever reality is. All those times where you get exhausted of wanting to arrive somewhere, and if you seem to arrive somewhere, it always whispers the same thing on having never left, and then you realize you can't arrive at where you already are. Yeah, so being ourselves reality isn't a place we arrive at, it's a recognition we never left. Yes, this is the beauty of it. So being ourselves reality on having never left. So where that comes from was a wall in a Philadelphia yoga studio, and someone who owned that yoga studio, it's a very famous yogic thing, and she had translated it, which is gone, gone, gone to the other shore. The other shore in Buddhism is sort of like not this shore, the other shore. So gone, gone, gone. So obviously that seems to be a lot of miles. It was gone, gone, gone. So you're really gone, right? Gone, gone, gone to the other shore, which was been incredibly difficult to go so far to get to the other shore. Yeah. And then but the whacker is, and on having never left. So gone, gone, gone to the other shore. And then when you seem to arrive at the other shore, it tells you you had never left the other shore. The shore you left was the other shore. The shore you arrived at is the other shore. The shore where you thought you were and you left is the other shore. And there's nothing other than the other shore. Okay? So simple. And then the third one is beautiful, which is having these two things whack you, being ourselves reality. What? Yeah. And what do you see when that sense of being ourselves reality is entertained? You see what you're not. You see what's not reality. And you finally, that seeing, which is from reality, all awareness is of reality. But what it becomes aware of, and the claiming of the awareness that you are the one who's aware, is not the reality. That is the dreaming. Yes. The awareness is fueling everything, including the dreaming. So you and I are the dreaming of the dream. So we're the awareness of the dreaming. Yeah. We're not the dreamt. Yes. And we're not the movements and the machinations of the dreamt. to arrive at the shore, the other shore upon having never left. And the idea of I want to become reality, or I was once reality and I screwed up so badly, I have been exempted from reality and I want to return to reality. Yeah, these are the drives most people somewhere or another are driven by. And then the third one is on having I need do nothing. Wow. So now when people who take themselves to be this and they're looking for the other shore, and they figure they've tried everything else, so they're going to try a real subtle little move, which is I'm going to tiptoe myself to the other shore, appearing like I'm not doing anything, but I'm doing a whole lot. Yes, no, that's not it. So the I need do nothing comes from the two previous statements, which is upon having never left. So basically, all that you did to arrive at the other shore, you needed to do nothing because you never left the other shore. You see it? So beautiful, literally. It's an answer that's not going to be blemished or stained by time, passing it on, because it's not of time. And it doesn't appear to be anything because it's not of time. So it's a gift that you can't see or unwrap, but it's there, ever present at all times. Pretty cool, yes? So the gift is what you are, actually. You're not getting the gift, you are the gift. Yeah? So being ourselves reality. What? Yeah. On having never left. What? So when I did all this work, and this happens all the time, in the dreaming, if something happens and you arrive at where you already are, yeah, and there's that awakeness is obvious, everyone believes there was a story that brought you to that awakeness. Yeah. Now, I don't believe the story ever brought you to awakeness. I believe awakeness when it wants to appear in time and space, it may take a story. So it may look like I stubbed my toe and I got whacked and I realized I shouldn't drink anymore. And then I tripped over a book and it was the Course of Miracles. And I stumbled into a room and it was a temple, so on and so forth. And then I was brought to the realization. Yeah. So the realization would never have happened unless those other things were happening. That's giving relevance to an irrelevant thing, the dreaming. Yeah, it is. And this is what the head loves to do. The head loves to be engaged in becoming something or unbecoming something. It doesn't like the isness of the truth, yes? If someone said, if you worked 50 years, let's say only 8 hours a week, and you would finally arrive at being ourselves reality, you would probably sign up for that. Yeah, 50 years, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe if I up the 8 hours a week to 32 hours, it'll cut to, yes, the mind would work like that, 15 years or something. Yeah, but it would totally sign up to it. But being ourselves reality is not interesting to the head, if you notice. It doesn't give a shit. It wants to become something or unbecome. It doesn't want to recognize the isness because that would stop its movement and you would see its movement. Yeah. It says it's only moving to arrive somewhere where it can rest. It cannot rest. The head cannot rest. It's agitated. Its nature is agitated, but it tells us a story that it's because of us or the situation or this or that I'm not finding rest. If I get it to the right place at the right time, I'm going to rest like crazy. I'm going to really enjoy peace of mind, but it can't. It cannot. If you've ever sat down for many hours and to meditate, and as long as the head was going, you would be sitting there. Once there's that pause and there's peace of mind, you think, I left the oven on or some fucking thing. You immediately do something to come back to the seeking, to the, yeah, we don't want the destination because the destination, we are already there. We want to drive to a destination and then add more miles as we drive. Yes. And go on and on. And so the means is the end. The seeking is the end of it because you're not going to find what you're looking for because you are what's looking. Yeah. These are all the statements that are the backbone of non-duality. And they have a lot of oomph in them, if you can just hear them at the right time and in the right space, which is here and now. I mean, geez, how difficult is that? So you're going to hear it and hear it and hear it. It doesn't matter if you don't believe you got it. You got the mail. As a mailman, you've already, the mail is the trigger that you're already the mail. Yeah, the mail isn't the message. The message, the mail slot gets busy by a message getting through, but then something dawns on it, which is what? Being ourselves reality. The next thing, as soon as that sort of gets landed and doesn't get claimed and turned into something, it moves right into the next statement. Hey, on having never left. So whatever I've done to arrive somewhere, whatever there I set up, yeah, to be a better here, when I get there, it's here. Every there that I've ever dreamed has to be better than this here. When I get that to that there, it's here. And I find the same fault in that there that I worshiped and worked so hard to arrive at when it becomes here. There is a fucking stain in it. There's something missing in it. Exactly. So the there is wonderful to disavow the moment right now because it's going to be a better moment for sure. Yeah. Once I get there, all the shit that's bothering me here is going to stop. But it immediately, when you get there, it's here. There's no there. Every there is eventually a here. There's no way. You can't, oh, I finally got there. Where? Here. Oh, wait a minute. I don't like here. Let's make another trip. Yes. I had a little example when I was younger in this little seat assignment. I was just a character, let's say, and I had an apartment, a little studio apartment, and I was reading the paper on Sunday morning, and there was this advertisement for a beautiful couch, and it was color, very, very nice. And I looked around my room, my little apartment, I didn't have a couch. And I started thinking, man, my life probably would be much better if I got a couch. And then I started to really get pissed off about people who had couches and didn't tell me how important it was to have a couch. And I just said, fucking, I'm going to get that couch. So I called up and I ordered that couch. And then I'm really excited about it. And I'm trying to share everyone. I'm going to have a couch opening party. No one's RSVPing. I mean, shit, it's furniture, but I'm super excited. And it's an excuse to bear the here because it's going to be much better than. And I'm thinking I'm going to meet a woman and have my first child conceived on that couch. The couch is going to be the center of the greatness of the there. So I'm like saving my money, and then I call them, and the day's coming. Saturday, they're going to deliver it. I'm stoked. No one shows up. I'm there, they bring it in. I had swept the whole corner and they put it there. And I take the plastic off. I sit down. I have a momentary rush of there-ness, which was going to end quickly. And then I looked around and the rug didn't match the couch. So now I'm going to have to get a rug. So the there became a here, and now the rug became the there. You don't see this? Has nothing to do with rug or couches. It has to do with that movement, the incessant movement of a denial of what is available now with the hopes that your magical, mystical, conceptual idea of it will be available later. Yes? So we're always being driven and we're thinking we're the driver of it. But if you want to call a desire of movement, the desire to become and unbecome is the original movement of the head. It's trying to become something that it thinks would make it better. It's trying to unbecome something that it thinks is making it worse. And it goes, this desire just keeps on fueling more desire, more theirs. And we never get the message that it's always here. No, it doesn't. See, this is the beautiful thing, is the futility of what we're not. It's inability, and it's not personal, it's mechanical. It has a mechanical inability to get the most important thing it needs to get, which is it cannot understand what's actually going on. Yeah. when you realize why you have two people saying the same thing, but totally different emphasis. One person, a great practitioner and a meditator, and he's got the the loving gaze and the hair, and he wears loose clothing and never seems to get mad, but he takes it out on his fucking pillow at night or something, some anger in there, whatever, ready to blow. Yeah, that thing. And then he shouts out in a really frustrated, I'm never gonna get it. Yeah, super pissed. I'm never gonna get it, but it doesn't stop this movement to keep trying to get it. It doesn't. You would think it would change something, but no. And then an hour or two, he's back there doing the shit, trying to get it again. But then another person hearing this message of non-duality, when it says, I'm never going to get it, it's like a hallelujah. Because it's not that he's going to fail, it's that he can't get what it already is, you see. Yeah. So the idea of I can never get back. I had this experience in a spiritual group, in an intense atmosphere, inducing cathartic events. And I remember I had this whole thing of crying and mourning, like thousands of years of mourning. I can never get back. Like I did something so bad, I can never return to the Godhead or something. Yes, and I'm just going to be a lost pilgrim, but I must try. Yes, and I just a huge head of pilgriming. Oh, I must, but I know I don't, but I'm going to try my best. I'll become a saint and everything, help people, everything. And then after that, I mean, it was so clear I had left and I could never get back. But then 2 days later, I realized the reason why I can never get back is I never left. It was so beautiful, but I lost a lot of votes in that group. They liked me as the pilgrim, but as someone that lost interest in all the pilgriming, it didn't go well in the community. But it dawned on me, I can never get back because I've never left, you see. The joy of getting back is not available to that which never leaves. Yeah. And the head has a lot of mental joy about returning and then leaving again, and then returning, and likes to do blog posts on all of these trips. And then inevitably you do something that changed the whole thing. And then you got to go back to square one and then go back and on and on. Yes. But on having never left takes all that all away. Yes. And now when your head is projecting time and space and effort and this to arrive at that mythical there, you're just rooted in here. Yeah, couch or not couch. Yeah. Yeah. And now something that never left, you have a sense that it never left. Not a sense that I want to find it as if I lost it, but a sense it's never left. So now the sense that you're feeling is aligned with a fact, not a mental idea. Yeah, I have a sense I'm disconnected or I'm not in the moment. That's all manufactured. If you look at the video of that moment you're in, you're here, but oh, I'm so out to lunch. No, you're not. You're at lunch. Yeah. Literally, if you look at where your feet are, you're right here. Oh, I'm millions of miles. No, you're not millions of miles away. You're not. You're right here in Nevada, 828 Wilmac. But I have a sense I'm million. Yeah, you do have a sense. It's made up. Yeah. The sense of being an individual is not coming off the individual. There's no individual. There's a sense of individuality. So the head makes a sense of individuality, and then we, as reality, picture that sense of individuality as a body. And there you go. And even reality can only hold it for 80 or 90 years because it's so obviously not true. It gives up the ghost and we have death. Yes. And basically, no one who dies is experiencing their own death. People who are seemingly alive are the ones who experience your death. When people try to think, oh, I want to go to my own funeral, see everyone talking, and there's nothing. No, you're not returning. It's over. You may live in someone else's head, but you're not living as your head anymore. So here, being ourselves reality from the godfather of non-duality, Ramana Maharshi, frames it as the greatest mystery. What's the greatest mystery? The greatest mystery, being ourselves reality, is reality wanting to attain reality. Yeah. The day that you're at satsang and that kicks in or triggers, yeah, that moment is the internal moment. When that moment triggers that being ourselves reality, yeah, the greatest mystery is reality, aka Paul, wanting to attain reality. Yeah. You can want to attain something, but if you already are that something, you're never going to attain it. And if the desire to attain it is stronger than the reality of what you are, you're going to spend millions of moments trying to attain what you already have or are. Yeah. And this is the futility of non-duality. And this is what induces a hallelujah. So the hallelujah is being ourselves reality, on having never left, and I need do nothing. Now, does the action figure do shit? A lot of stuff. But now the action figure's sense of being the doer isn't making you the doer. Yeah, you see that all the doing does not make the doer. Doing can go on, as Buddha supposedly said, events happen, deeds are done. I would say a deed is something that there's a doing of, yeah? So events happen, deeds are done, but there is no individual doer thereof. So there's tons of doing, no doer. Tons of seeing, no seer. Tons of hearing, no hearer. Tons of feeling, no feeler. For you to see, for the seeing to occur, is there a need to be a seer? No. For the seer to have a sense of, there needs to be seeing, yes. So the seeing is claimed by the head to imply the seer. Without seeing, there would be no seer. And there's tons of seeing with no seer. Yeah. So if you want to believe where you started the race is where you're going to end the race, maybe it'd be good to look at where you're calling the starting of the race, because you may be at a manufactured point instead of the real point. Yeah. And this is what non-duality is. Non-duality is describing the duality that we experience all day, which is I feel sometimes like an object. So I think about myself as a thing. And then sometimes I'm the thinker about other objects. So I'm at one moment I'm the subject because I believe I'm the thinking of the object. And then the other moment I'm the object because I feel like I'm what's being thought about. So yeah. So the thought about the thinker switch, they go on and forth, and this is subject object, and this is the target of non-duality. To see, is it true that are you an object or a subject or a hybrid subject object, or maybe neither? Yeah. So not two is just that. It's not like not 28. You know, this isn't like the kindergarten of there's going to be non-singularity, non-duality, non-trinity, non-quadruple, non-84. No, there's just not two. This duality is a disguise. It's like a ball, it's like a slinky that here's the slinky, then there's the slinky. And then the emphasis goes here, the emphasis goes there. So it's all one slinky. So the emphasis goes to the object, then it goes back to the subject, but it's all one slinky. Yeah. So this movement moves another movement, and a movement. Yeah. So subject, object, object, subject, subject, object, object, subject. Non-duality doesn't stop that. It just tells you it's not true. That's all. See, I believe if something wasn't true, it would stop. No, everything I see is not true. Yeah. I'm seeing appearances. As a great master, Huang Po said, whatever can be perceived, so right now, couch, I can see the smoke from the incense. I can hear the water. I can feel the brightness from the light. My feet hurt a little bit. Other things I don't want to get into. Could be more personal stuff like this. Yes. So everything that I can perceive can not be that which is perceiving. So here I am. I can perceive almost everything, maybe not my head unless I go and see into the bathroom. But here I am. So I'm seeing this, and this would fall under the category of perceived, yes? And if you just take this guy's statement, whatever can be perceived, meaning this cannot be that which is perceiving. Yeah, pretty cool. Now go into the head and listen to the head for 5 minutes. The head has that which can be perceived is what's perceiving. So when you say you're conscious, the you that is conscious is framed as a body. So now you're saying the object is the subject. Yeah. Your consciousness, which is all subject, yeah, because there's no thing called consciousness. You can't perceive consciousness in a sense, but through consciousness, you perceive a lot of other stuff. Yes. So that consciousness cannot be perceived because it's that which is perceiving. But in the head has the consciousness as an attribute the body has. So when I go, I'm conscious, it's the same I that I worry about 4 years from now. It's pictured as a body. Or the same I that I said I was in Hawaii, I pictured as a body. And the same I'm conscious, is pictured as a body. See, if you see the base, like we had a little joke about this alien race comes, a couple of scientists from this alien race are sent on a mission to study Earth and the Earthlings, yes, people. And they've been given a 10-year window, tons of backup. Go there and check the society out, civilization, get back to us. Got 10 years to study them all, yes? So they land here, and they land in America. And then after they check some stuff out, after 10 minutes, they call up their home planet, we're coming back. And they go, what do you mean? You just got there. You got 10 years of research to do. We don't need to do any more research. Any society that has profit over the health of their citizenry is insane. No, literally, it is. Why do I have to pile on the more insane? Just, it's insane. From there, what more studying do I need to do? I got it. This is the same point. The evidence of what you're not is housed right where you are, right where you are. It's sort of like a giant bonfire. It's not lit yet, but all this wood that you need is already there. You don't need any more. It's all, so much stuff has been gone over. Now, what's presenting the evidence to you is part of the problem, but the evidence has also been seen from the solution, what we are. And non-duality is going to weaken the interest in the problem, and then you're going to see the evidence from the solution, and you're going to realize I'm not that. And this was the way to get out of what you're not in. This is the way to realize you've never been out of what you're in, and you've never been in from what you're out of. Yes. So very clear. The mental logic just gets underused after that. It's not like you try to rehab it. It has this action figure is not going to get it. It's just the way I ran it with it in recovery with addiction. We had this idea of self is what has defeated us, and self cannot get out of self. And the frustration was when it was obviously that I could never escape self, it would just try something else. even though I hit the same wall. First it was reading books, then horror movies, then drinking, then spirituality, then back to drinking and drugs, then back to spirituality. It just wouldn't fucking admit self can't get out of self. It just believed it fervently, but the believing didn't make it so. And I realized, don't waste any time trying to convince something that is programmed. It's not AI. The bodies and the brain is not AI, it's programmed. And the brain, as the Course in Miracles says super clearly, the brain interprets to the body of which it is a part. So when the brain picks up evidence of subjectivity, it makes that an attribute the object has. Yes. So I, as an object, is who and what is seeing, which is not true. That's the basic fundamental negation of non-duality, is the subject objectness we're living as all day. Yeah. It just says not two. It's not, and that's bad. No, not bad or nothing. It's just not two. Yeah. And so, and because it's true, you don't need to affirm the truth. You need to negate the lie, so to speak. Because when you're negating the lie, it's happening from the truth. You don't negate the lie and then that which was the lie moves and finds the truth. You negate the lie from the truth. So all you need to do is negate the truth of the lie, and that's coming from the truth. Yeah, it's beautiful, super clear, super clean. You see what you're not, and the seeing of what you're not is the intimacy of what you are. You are the awareness of everything that's ever been aware of. You, as Paul, was not the one that was aware. This becomes aware. You become aware of this. You don't become aware as this. You become aware of this. And you realize the evidence lights up. It's just waiting for the right understanding. To me, it could be something else for you. For me, it was non-duality, this idea. I met interesting, novel things, and they tweaked my curiosity and got me inspired, and I would be like that. But the last answer in my life, this life, has been non-duality, this understanding, because it explained not everything, it explained what was needed to be explained. And everything doesn't need to be explained. You have a little bit that needs to be explained, and then the house of cards. You don't have to even blow the house down. You're not going to move into a house of cards. Yeah. Now, the tiles on the house, maybe it's going to take you 500 investigations to realize they're not tiles, they're cards, but it could be quicker. You could just see one and then you realize that it's all cards. Yeah, it could happen suddenly or it could come slowly. It doesn't matter, because whenever it seems to happen, it happens here and now. Yeah. And so I haven't felt any longing that I had missed this for years, because years don't fucking matter. Yeah. If you believe years matter, look at a dream you have at night. Let's say I'm dreaming of a 5-second Slurpee drink. Yeah. I just took a giant whack of a big Slurpee drink, and then I wake up the next morning. Then the next night I have a 300-year opus, 800 reincarnations and princesses and princes and everything. And then the next morning I wake up. Did it take longer to wake up from a 300-year-old dream than the 5-second dream? No. The only value where time was in the dream. Yeah. It could have been 800 years. I'd wake up just like that, because we have a beautiful awakeness in this world. It's called the morning. Most of us, no matter how engaged we were in the dreaming, when we wake up, we come out of it. Yeah. And it's not like, oh, I was in a 300-year dream, it's going to be 3 months. No, it's just as much as the 5-second dream, because time only has value where it is. And what you are is not of time. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. That's the pitch for today. So next week, it's going to be being. See, being. Cut out the ourselves and reality, not needing, and try to leave. Try to leave. You're trying to get somewhere is really trying to leave. Yeah. The head makes up a huge story about getting somewhere, but it's really trying to convince you that you've left already. Yeah. It's trying to convince you that you left. That's the subtle agenda. And then all of your drives and vacations and everything to arrive and get somewhere, it goes along with. But what it really wanted to reinforce was that you've left reality, you left being reality, and you've got to whatever become reality or something like that. Yeah, that's the real drive. So it doesn't care about anything else. It wants you to believe you've left. So we're going to go being, never left. No, I don't have anything else on that. Nothing. But you see the head, yeah, the head's, it's sort of like the statement in the Course in Miracles, actively denying what you are. No one, if I looked at you right now and say, I think you're in the act of denying what you are, you're like, what? I was just trying to hope this guy stops talking and on and on. But really, the act of denying what you are by doing what you're doing. The head is using you and your engagement as you to deny what you are. So all of its plans to arrive is to verify an imaginary idea that it's left. The same thing with getting into the moment. People, it wants you to buy how to get into the moment, and get the second one, how to really get into the moment. And then the third one, forget about it, but how about you never leave the moment? Yeah. But the whole point of getting into the moment is verifying the idea that you could be out of the moment. So it wins. When you're buying that book to get into the moment, it's already won. You believe, or you don't. There's a believing that's coagulating a you, and that belief is you can be out of the moment. You cannot be you. You can be somewhere other than where you are. These are all magical stuff, but it doesn't make anything so. Yeah. Yeah. So it says, actively denying what you are and firm in faith in this something else. And it says that you made to be yourself, but I say the head makes to be yourself. So you don't see either movement really. So there's an active denial of what you are that is the dualistic effect of firm in faith in the something else that your head has made to be yourself. Yes? So here we are steaming ahead, firm in faith in what the head has made to be ourselves, this little captain up there that we're listening to all the time, pictured as a body. Yeah. That whole event is the active denial of what you are. So in this case, all your behavior, and thank God it's not your behavior. See, this is the beauty of it, because I knew if I got into spirituality, there'd be more shit I was going to be responsible for, and more fucking guilt and shame. And this is the only answer that relieved me of that, because what is in the active denial of what I am is not me. And that which is making up this something else, that which is making it up is not me, and the something else is not me. So I'm not going to get a large amount of guilt and shame because I have been doing this all my life, because I haven't been doing it all my life. This is the beauty of the message. You finally can tell the truth, because obviously, who wants to feel like they've really fucked up? Yeah. But there is a real fuck up. Yeah. And so I want to deny and avoid that real fuck up, because it's going to feel really fucked up. But in this case, with non-duality, I don't get the really fucked up, and I just tell the truth. It's fucked up. It works. I know nothing else had worked because that other knowledge would trigger a lot more shit I wanted to avoid, really. So who wants to learn this? But now I love to learn this because I'm not it. I'm learning all about what I'm not. And it's cool because I get a sense of what I am when I'm learning about what I'm not. This is how it's worked. That's why I'm here sharing it exactly the way it's coming out. So here it is. Hey, active denying of what we are. I don't think I'm doing that. Yeah, exactly. Without us knowing it, this is all going on. And firm in faith in this something else, which is this idea of the long-lasting, independent, separate thing. Yeah, your singularity. Yeah. So there's something else that my head has made to be me. Yeah. This is the dilemma. And then we're relying on an organ called the brain, and the brain is interpreting everything that we experience through conscious contact, not our contact. We're the interface, but we're not what's in contact. Consciousness is in contact. And then that consciousness, that is being claimed to imply that it's you that's conscious. Yes. And so the recognition of all this doesn't add any weight. It brings a lightness to it because there's a prior forgiveness because it's not you. To me, it's the atonement they talk about in the Course of Miracles. Nothing ever actually happened, yeah, in a way. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And then people think, oh, but that's spiritual bypassing. Yes, I love spiritual bypassing. I mean, I would love to bypass all these efforts and all the realizations on having never left and just rest in being ourselves reality. Yes. I believe there's a lot of bypassing based on that. You bypass a lot of trips and a lot of paths and shit like that. You do. Yeah. So, all right. So there you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
I'm mute the whole time. That's good.
We heard you.
Saw the animation. Yes, no, it was on. Hey,
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Anyone have any comments? Questions?
So what reacts to the statement being ourselves reality? That which is not real. Yes? Yes? So this is the beauty of non-duality. It brings out of the weeds a lot of the misunderstandings that keep us in a state of without us knowing. Yeah. It just sort of, they want to stay in the weeds, but they just can't help themselves. They'll rise up and they'll try to grab and make something out of the message. And by seeing the nakedness of it, and then meeting it with I'm not that is beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. So
Paul David from Down Under has his virtual hand up.
all right, David.
Come on, David.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Paul. Like about halfway through that talk, then when you were talking, Paul, I sort of thought, I don't know, something jumped in my head and went, it's like there's only ever one infinite moment that time doesn't like has nothing to do with, It's like, you remember you used to say, or I don't know if you still do, but you used to say that what we're not's like the quickest gun in the West. You can't outdraw it. It was you that used to say that, I think.
Yes.
But you don't have to sort of you don't.
No, that's right. You don't have to because in timelessness, the gun is always out. It does take no time to pull the gun out of the holster. So
yeah,
I humbly believe the mental activity is the quickest process going. And therefore, the effect of that process is more influential with the processes that come after than
Yeah.
processes
'Cause
that come after affecting that which is before. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
And when you say which is before, that's what we all truly are.
Yes.
And the other, what you just said sort of then is like, it just doesn't mess with that. It just messes with, yeah, what you call and what comes after. But it's nice to just know this, puts a smile on my face to know there's just one infinite moment. It's not like the time doesn't sort of mess with it. That's how I sort of had it in that. Like I sort of thought of it.
Doesn't it happen more and more as you get older and stuff too? I feel. I mean, like it's like playing on a football field and they never change the field and all the lines get a little weaker and weaker. You can't, where, it's this halftime or whatever for 10 yards, goal, the goal and the 10-yard, they're all sort of blurring out. And it becomes more like a mural than snapshots. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole
It's
life is like a mural. And you're like part and parcel of an 80 like year in time mural. Yeah, and your understanding doesn't have any idea what happens when the mural stops or when it started. You just hear, and then yeah.
I had a great example of it this past week. One of my dogs got really sick and she nearly died, and it threw me into like threw up what I'm not into, a bit of chaos and stress and all this shit for a few days. And in the middle of that, I sort of a thought came to me, or whatever you'd call it, and I was making it all about me. Her being sick,
Yes.
I was making it all about me. And as soon as that sort of popped there, it like I got to the operation, all the rest of it. She's as bright as rain now, and it was beautiful to sort of look back on. That it was only stressful or traveling rough when I was making it all about me.
Yes.
And it was nice to, whereas in years gone by, I never saw, I don't think, I wasn't aware or couldn't see those situations like that. So yeah, I've had a beautiful couple of weeks. I feel like of travel and light because of a great example of selfing. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought
That's
I'd
great.
say.
No, this is like, remember that movie? You ever see a lot of movies where someone's dying and the other person is like grabbing them by lapels? You can't do this to me. Oh, you're ruining their Wednesday by passing away. I mean, it's insane, the arrogance of the self-centeredness. And then remember the one with, I think it was supposed to be an angel and it got interested in Meg Ryan. And it decided it wanted to go horizontal.
City of Angels.
Meg Ryan, and so it.
City of Angels.
What was it?
City of Angels.
Oh,
City of Angels.
Oh, City of Angels. So then he decides that he's going to give up his eternal bliss to have a 5-minute roll in the bed with Meg Ryan. And have you seen Meg Ryan now? It would be scary. So. Seriously, do you think any eternal fucking creature would, oh yeah, I'll give that up for 80 years of fucking pain and suffering?
You get great examples.
Insane. Whoa.
You get great examples of it in shows you're watching. Believe it or not, a lot of you guys will laugh, but I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead at the moment. Like it's like a 12 series, 15 episode thing. And every time there's a like serious moment in it, like two of the actors talking to each other, and it all comes I'd say nearly all the time, it comes back to the one thing. It's like me. Like when they're just killing the dead, like when the shit's going down, and they got to kill the dead. There's no fucking talking. It's like just fucking in the moment.
This is sort of the extreme individuality. Every one of us think we're one of the two stars, and everyone else are zombies. So if If they're not useful to me, get the fuck out of the way. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it always blows my mind, the incredible desire to rule the world. What? Why? 70 years? What the hell? You know, I don't know.
yeah,
You should
that
be,
blows me away because that people who sort of do that on the big scale, let's say, it seems like to me that it just causes tons of problems and heartache wanting
Yeah.
to rule the world, you know.
yes, yes. Well, yeah. Well, we're a very powerful source of light. And when it's directed, by the magnifying glass of the head, it makes a lot of mountains out of molehills and does a lot of weird mutated shit. And then when
Yeah.
you name and form to things, they are given a power over you in a sense. So yeah, it's a trippy.
I notice it with my business and people that have been coming in, especially the last few years since that coronavirus thing. I've just sort of noticed in a lot of the people I know, they just seem to be so negative about the place now, and really doomsdayish about it, And
Yeah.
it seems like to me, like everyone's sort of saying it's financially a lot harder and all this sort of thing. It seems like to me, it's just the same as it ever was in a way,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. I
Oh
could go
yeah.
on about that crap for too long.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Paul.
All right. If no more questions, we're gonna say goodbye, eh?
Yeah, that's okay with me, Paul. I just wanted to mention something's going in my head.
All right.
It's out of A Course in Miracles. It says somewhere in there, it says, your passage through space and time is not at random. You cannot but be in the right place at the right time. That's
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, which is no place and no time. So you're always in the right place and time, which is no place, no time. That's being ourselves reality. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It comforts me in the times when like I'm feeling like I shouldn't be here or this shouldn't be happening. Like
Yeah.
that'll come back to me and I'll be, oh, okay, never mind.
Or just when you see that stuff, it's not you, Kathleen. Yeah. What's
Yeah.
taking offense has been presented to us as us. Now you greet it with a suspicion, a healthy one. Yeah. And when the light isn't being directed by it, but it is put on it, you see things. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. Yes. William Stamps, pleasure to see you. We've been on this little journey together for years on the Zoom. James Olson. James and Alan. Alan, I know he's got that. He's never getting it. So hopefully he can transmit over to his brother. Eric, nice to see you, Eric. I'm waiting for those shoes. I didn't see it. I've been looking up at the air. I haven't seen a shoe flying by. All right. I'll see you soon, bro. Annette, Alan, Craig May. Oh, Craig May kept a lock in the door of the closet. All right. It's nice to see you, Craig. Susan Harris in lovely Cape Cod. Mika from Finland. Mike M. Mitch. Rob M. in Massachusetts, I guess. Anand. Fletch. Susanna, our friend. I hate to say our old friend, because it's not that she's old, but a friend. I think I won't say anything. Yeah. My new friend that I've known for a long time, Susanna. Lynn D. The Constellations. Ben. I think Fletch. Oh, there he is. Phone number. I don't know who that is. Hey, thank you, everyone. Thanks for letting me rant and Yeah, we're gonna go over the 3 ABCs, yes, being ourselves reality, on having never left, and I need do nothing. Yeah, yeah. All right, see ya. Bye-bye.